Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. I've got a really great lineup today. I am gonna go. This is something that I've been planning on doing for a while. It's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm sure I can do this. And I just realized I forgot to turn on my fan, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick because tonight is gonna be a little bit hot. You'll see a moment. Sorry, I'm bending over. This is not the most flattering angle. Oh, there we go. But I will need some circulation for this one. Hey, Shanna, welcome. I'm glad you're the first one here because this is going to be quite interesting. This is the one that you've been wanting me to do for quite some time. Hey, Teresa, welcome. I'm doing the breakfast teas. And most people don't realize that there's more than one. I didn't realize it either. It took me quite some time to find this out. But now that I know, I've been doing a little bit of research here and there for about maybe a year or so. But this is something that is going to be quite interesting because there's a lot of history behind it. I'm going to touch on a few points because there's a couple of aspects. Hey Ma, welcome. There's a couple of aspects here historically, a couple fun facts. So I'm going to go ahead and, hey Miriam, welcome, and say hello to the Smidgen. Okay, the Smidgen is the little doggy that was adopted last weekend. Hooray! Hi Smidgen. Her name is Bella, but I have officially nicknamed her Smidgen. Kara, welcome, it's been a while. Okay, so without further ado, because this is something that I have been... I'm gonna have a busy night. Ralph, welcome. I'm going to be doing a busy night today, so I'm going to get the water started, and I'm going to talk a little bit about tonight's teas. There's three of them. There's English breakfast, Irish breakfast, and Scottish breakfast. And most people only know English breakfast. Fewer people know tea bags. Fewer people know that there's an Irish breakfast, and like basically nobody knows that there's a Scottish breakfast. And like literally, I had no idea that there was a Scottish breakfast until like much later. I literally found out that there was an Irish breakfast last year, and then maybe 2 or 3 months after that, there's a Scottish breakfast too. So while the water's going, I'm going to talk a little bit about the hey Brienne, welcome. I saw the like. I don't know how much attention you'll be able to pay because I know you're on the phones and stuff, but glad you could make it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the history, how English breakfast became English breakfast, and how it kind of set a domino effect throughout the different countries. So, in around the 1800s, 17 and 1800s, there's a little bit of debate as to when this happened. Tea was already prevalent. There was a huge trade going between China and England. We're going back and forth, and somewhere within the 17 or 1800s, who's credited with this was Queen Anne. She wanted to have a drink with her breakfast that was strong enough to withhold it because the traditional English breakfast was very, very heavy. It was meats, it was beans, it was bread, it was eggs. It was a lot of heavy, heavy foods. So they would need a drink to go along with it, and generally they used to drink ale. But this was something that Queen Anne wanted to change. Her precise reasons, I'm not quite sure. So she started drinking tea. She was drinking Chinese black tea, and it basically caught on. People started drinking it more traditionally. So as the popularity began to increase, then the Opium Wars came. Yeah, there you go. Ham, eggs, and beans, and that's really heavy food for a breakfast, generally speaking. So when the Opium Wars started between China and England, one of China's retaliatory attacks was putting an embargo on tea trade. What the ale? Yeah, I know that that news was ailing me too. So so they put an embargo on the. Oh, it absolutely is a good breakfast. Like I could go for some right now. Not so much the ham. Maybe get some sausage in there. The Infinity, not quite the Infinity Wars. That happened centuries later. Uh, but but during the Opium Wars, so China put an embargo on the tea, and they decided to stop all trade while the Opium War was going on, because you're not going to trade with your enemies. But by that time, English settlements had already started growing tea in India. So instead of Chinese black teas, I'm sure that's why it's called the Infinity Wars. Ah. So anyway, the settlements in China, the settlements in India were already growing their tea, and they were coming out with their own processes, and traditionally it had changed from Chinese black teas to Indian black teas. So it started off with English breakfast, which is the first one I'm going to start with today. Now, English breakfast has a base in Keeman. Keeman is a special. It's a region in India that grows tea. It's kind of unique. It's I wouldn't say very, very hard tasting, but it's got a distinct taste. It's close to Ceylon, but not quite. I'll talk about that later. Oh, excuse me. So I'm gonna go ahead before. Oh, too late. The water already popped. So I'm gonna leave that water for just a moment. Take a quick demonstration of the English breakfast. I'm gonna talk about how it smells. I'm doing this a little bit rushed because I'm already slightly behind schedule. Ooh, that's really nice. Now, when people drink tea traditionally, this is what they equate with tea. English breakfast, that's not Assam, Keeman, and Ceylon is basically what is used, and it's very traditional, very classic. So, there we go. I'm trying to get all of this out. Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to show you guys real quick what it looks like. Rick, welcome! You caught me when I wasn't looking. Okay, so check this out. Traditionally, it's loose leaf, very, very long, very brown and earthy. This is just your basic black tea. Whenever people think about classic black teas, this is what they want. So it's either referred to as English breakfast, or Ceylon, which is not. Apparently you are a ninja. Which is traditionally it's close. But I'll get into the relationship later. But as you can see, I forgot to show you how tall it was. I'm keeping it kind of short, but you see it's kind of low there. I'm gonna go ahead, and steep this. This is gonna be all of my teas today are gonna be steeped at 212 degrees for 5 minutes. You don't want to oversteep these teas because they can get kind of sour. There we go. First one is going. I'm going to go ahead and set the timer real quick to 5 minutes. And I just realized that I'm going to need to put my infusers somewhere. This should do it. Nicole, welcome! Okay, so while this goes, I'm going to show you guys the leaf. There's like very little very little space on my counter right now. 205. What? Oh, the temperature. I'm assuming that 205 is the temperature that I should be steeping at. I don't know. I'm doing it as a regular black tea, which is generally 212. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. One leaf at a time is kind of short. It's short, but it's going to expand. You can see that it was plucked, and it wasn't really processed a whole lot. It was basically plucked and dried. You can see that, unlike the oolongs that I've been doing. Oh, they do the temperature at 205? Okay, so I'll be slightly over. I mean, it's not going to be a huge difference, but I'm going to understeep it slightly. I mean, my whatchamacallit is temperature controlled, but not to the degree. So I'm doing this at 212, and I mean, it should be like on the bag it says 212. Maybe I'll just do it at 3 minutes instead. I mean, sorry, at 4 minutes instead of 5. So you know what? Let me adjust that a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna do it at 4 minutes instead of 5, and hopefully I'll get the proper taste. I don't really make a whole lot of English breakfast on my own, but when I do, it's something that I like to enjoy it. So tonight's going to be a challenge. I'm going to do 3 pots of tea. Not just 3 cups, but 3 whole pots, and I'm probably going to be doing the pee-pee dance about halfway through. But that's going to be more entertaining for you guys. So we'll see how this goes. Anyway, okay, so English breakfast has been traditionally served with breakfast. You know, just notice what, like on, oh, there goes Quackhead. Slightly early, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and pull this out real quick. And just so you know, this is going to be unsweetened. I'm going to drink it straight up. Now, this is going to be a challenge for kind of a different reason. Generally, when I drink 3 teas, they're drastically different. You know, there's something where I can say, okay, this I can taste, this I can taste, and I can make a differentiation between them. All 3 of these teas are going to be very similar in taste, and I'll explain why in just a moment. There we go. I have to set this up straight. We'll go ahead and pour my first cup, because I'm gonna have to zoom through this. I have 3 different teas to go through. Angel, welcome. So here comes the first one. Ooh, ow, my finger. Ow, it's burning. Ow. Ouch, that hurt. Okay, so as you can see, I'm trying to lift it up a bit. This is classic black tea. It's going well. How about you? It's classic black tea, very dark, dark brown. I'm going to show you guys real quick what it looks like. It's actually, this one is, well, you'll see for yourself in just a moment. This one is very dark, very red in the middle. And it's got a yellow lining around the halo. But if you look rather closely to the very, very edge, you'll see that it's clear at the top. This I'm theorizing here. Oh, I know how it is, Angel. I'm theorizing here. You can see it's pretty light around the top. This is for very good reason. The way that it's processed it's copper. The way that it's processed has a lot to do with the water of the area. Well, before I get too much into that, I'm going to take my first sip, because ooh, that smells good. It's very traditional, very, very traditional. Like this is English breakfast. If you've had any English breakfast before, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That's very nice. It's a soft English breakfast. Not too strong. I think I did a good job steeping it this time around. Because it's not bitter. It doesn't have an aftertaste. Generally, you have to be careful sometimes because if you oversteep it, you get that distinct kind of sour taste to it that you want to avoid. This one I did just right. I'm just hoping that it stays the longer that it stays out, because sometimes, in my opinion, I don't like to drink lukewarm not Earl Grey. Ugh. It's lukewarm English breakfast. Was this? I don't think I ever had English breakfast, milk and sugar. Actually, absolutely. English breakfast traditionally is meant to be drank with milk, sometimes sugar. But it's very, I mean, I'm drinking it straight up. This is not the traditional way, but it's a very heavy flavor because it has to compete with an English breakfast, which I mentioned before was a very heavy meal. So I'm hoping that the taste continues as it cools off. I'm not going to let this get cold for two reasons. I'm in a bit of a hurry to get through 3 different teas, but as well, I don't want this to cool off because it's going to change the taste. I don't know if it's going to change it for the better or for worse, but I'm not willing to take that risk. Right now, it tastes really perfect. But yeah, generally it's taken with either milk and sugar or cream and sugar. And I mean, I can see why, because when you're drinking it first thing in the morning and you're having a heavy meal, you're not going to want to bombard your tongue with anything too heavy, you know. Absolutely, Angel. It does. It tastes as good as it looks. And what is it you're gonna have? You're gonna need that coffee cup? Oh, the Tetris one. This was actually a birthday present from my dear old sister a few years back, and I proudly use it. I drink it every once in a while. I don't drink it on the stream too often because my T-Rex cup is bigger, and I need it to to get through my my streams a little bit faster. You know, I cut down my pour time from 3 to 2, which it makes a difference. Oh yeah, absolutely. Tetris was my jam back in the day. But not trivia question, but fun fact: Jose, who is known to come on this stream from time to time, was one of the citywide champions and could have gone either. No, he was either citywide going to state or state going to national for the championship of Tetris, and it's something that he's very proud of, and so am I. I'm proud of him too. Now, the texture on this, it doesn't really have a strong mouthfeel. Sometimes you have teas that leave a creamy residue or a little bit grainy residue. This one is very smooth. It's liquidy. You don't really have a mouthfeel to it. Now, this particular Keeman comes from a region in India. I want to say this correct. I'm going to look it up. Anhui. Let me see. Anhui. Yeah, Anhui province. This one is actually traditionally. I'm sorry, I kind of messed up there. Okay, let me backtrack a little bit. Keeman is actually from China, so this particular blend is not Indian. This particular blend is Chinese. This is going like way traditional. Sorry, that was a fact that I missed before. Keeman is actually in China rather than India, but history will show, and it's definitely changed in the other teas as we go along. But this one, this particular English breakfast is Chinese, but it did at one point become traditional Indian tea because of the embargo. So I'm backtracking a little to correct my previous statement. I wasn't technically wrong. Just saying. I have to protect my ego here. Mm. And there's a lovely, like, almost smoky taste to it. Like it's a campfire that's still burning, if that makes sense. You know, it's not charcoaly. It's not deep and heavy smoke. It's one that's still embering in the fireplace. You know, it's still warm. It's still earthy. It's still grounded. But it's so good. I wasn't expecting to enjoy this English breakfast as much as I am. I mean, I like English breakfast, but it depends on where it's from. It's the quality of leaf that makes a huge difference. This English breakfast is really, really good. Lapsang light. That's a good way of putting it. Except Lapsang tastes like a pine wood campfire that's already been put out, and you have like all smoke. This is slightly smoky. It's definitely a lighter version of a campfire, but not really similar to Lapsang. Oh, excuse me. It's something that I think people who don't generally like Lapsang, there are people that exist that are like that. I don't understand them, but Lapsang is really strong. This is more on the earthy side. It's like the campfire is still going, you know, or rather, it's just starting. That would be a better analogy, because it hasn't gotten that deep smoky yet. It's actually slightly woody. Like, you have a wooden taste to it, and there's wood, there's ground, and there's something else in there that's kind of hard to place. Let me see. Honeyed aroma. Gary, welcome. Honeyed aroma. I think, because that's what they say on the site, and I think that's what I'm tasting. That slightly naturally sweet kind of honey flavor that you get from it. Would I drink it iced? Traditionally, it is iced as well. It's more of an American thing. They don't really drink. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shanna, but like, they don't really drink iced tea in England. That's more of an American thing. I believe you told me that story where some of your family was talking about tea, and somebody brought up iced tea, and it, like, what? Like, they had no idea that tea would be iced. But yeah, American traditionally, you are able to drink iced tea. This is when you go to McDonald's to drink the tea. This is that down home southern sweet tea that you put a ton of sugar in. That's this. They're confused by it, which, you know, I mean, I can definitely understand. They do a lot of stuff down there that I have no understanding of, but, you know, it's a cultural thing. I mean, you can pretty much ice anything. It's just not very well received, I would imagine. And then, you know, it kind of makes you want to go to England just to ask for iced tea. Like, why do we ruin good tea to make it cold? Yeah, I can see that. I say the same thing about, like, why would you put pineapples on pizza? You know, it's like, pizza is great on its own. Why are you going to ruin it? But some people do. I have to admit I have had it on occasion, and it's not terrible. It's interesting. I'm always gonna be on the side that doesn't put pineapple on the pizza, but I will be willing to look over the fence every so often because it doesn't taste bad. And in the end, really, to each his own. Oh, this is good. This is really good unsweetened. And it's gonna be really hard to top. The next couple of breakfast teas, they're gonna be progressively stronger, and I'll explain why. But this one is really good so far. I'm trying to I'm looking over, trying to figure out my timing. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to, because I have to make a couple of cups. I'm going to prepare my second water. I got a couple of bottles of water here. I came prepared, and right now I'm unscrewing it with one hand, trying not to drop it. There we go. Because that could prove to be slightly dangerous, considering that I'm also pouring this into a pot that is still connected to an electronic base. Okay, yeah, that should be good. Alright, so I'm going to adjust my my kettle slightly, not too much, to see if I can get it closer to 205 rather than 212, because temperature, that does make a difference. What is it? You should create a segment called Franken Teas. Choose a tea and get creative with it. Add coconut milk, chocolate syrup, ice, and put it in a shaker. That is actually not a bad idea. What I'll do, I can actually, you know what? That I'm gonna put that on the back burner because all of next month is already set as far as tea is concerned, but that is a really good idea. I'm gonna work on that. Just remind me. By the end of next month, you'll be in town actually. So by the end of next month, we'll be able to mull over the idea. Just remind me. What is it? Sweet tea is gross and pineapples on pizza is the devil's work. That's a pretty strong, strong opinion. I would not say that sweet tea is gross because it depends on tastes. I like sweet tea, but not to the point where it's a gallon of sugar and 2 drops of tea. You know, that itself is kind of overkill. But I mean, I sweeten my tea often. You guys know I have a sweet tooth. I have been doing better lately with that. Even at work, when you guys watched the Bernice, welcome. When you guys watched the oolongs, I have not added sweetener at work at all to either one. I love the taste of it on its own. So no sweeteners for the oolongs for me. I'm good. And I'm about ready to... Was it? It's not up for debate. I said what I said. Yep. Well, then you stand by it. Girl power and all that. While I pour my second cup of tea. And hopefully... there's still more in there. I was hoping to finish it off on this one. Because I have another two cuevas. You see, I'm not the only one who. I mean, you're not the only one who butchers my name. What is this? There is sweetened tea, and there is sweet tea that creates cavities. That is the difference. Absolutely 100%. There is sweet tea and diabetes. That's that's essentially what the difference is. Oh, my computer turned off. I gotta keep it on because I use it as a reference on occasion. I'm not cheating. those facts that I spit off before about the history, I did memorize. So and I still have more facts for you. So I'll get into that for a minute. I'm going to drink this a little bit quickly because we got to move on. It's already like half an hour in, and I still have 2 more to go. So I don't want to waste too much time on just one tea. I'm so glad that like my tongue is kind of desensitized to heat now, because this would be killing me if if I had to like chug it down and get to the next one really quick. Is Irish tea next? Absolutely, and I'll explain why. So we're gonna go in this order: English breakfast, which I'm having now; Irish breakfast is second, and Scottish breakfast is third. Okay, now to top it off. Because, doggone it, so much. Oh! Oh, it's spilling out the top a little bit. There we go. Whew. I'm so glad I turned on that fan when I did, because I'm starting to feel hot. Nobody was signed in at the very beginning. Shanna, you came in while I was like finishing off the fan thing. So I was set as far as time. But you know, like I always say, my stream would not be a stream if I wasn't slightly unprepared. I knew something was missing. And I was like, oh my god, I'm going to sweat. And as you can see, I'm already sweating. This is only after the first one, and I have the fan going. As a matter of fact, now that I'm almost done, I'm going to set the next water. Because we have to run through these. Whew. I'm gonna have to like face the fan towards me, because I am starting to feel it already, and this is not very comfortable. Oh, doing it with my feet. There we go. It's so hard sometimes to like work with one hand. Oh, that's what she said. I know somebody was thinking it. I can guarantee more than one person was thinking it, actually, knowing this group. Anyway. Next up, I'm almost done. Next up is Irish breakfast. One down, 2 to go. Okay, now Irish breakfast is made from a more... well, you know what, let me backtrack a little bit. The differences between English breakfast, Irish breakfast, and Scottish breakfast is because they have to... Ooh. Oh, excuse me. I choked and went down the wrong pipe. Okay, anyway. I'm just going to take a little bit of... Oh, there we go. Alright, anyway, like I was saying, each blend is processed to accommodate the water of the region. So England has traditionally the heavier water, and so they produce their tea a little bit lighter, so that it doesn't get oh, excuse me. Dasani water is so bad for me. Yeah, well, I mean that's not technically Dasani anymore. That's Chicago water out of the faucet. So I don't have to worry about that. I just need to worry about lead. Anyway, so it's made to match the water of the region. Now, as I was saying before, the English breakfast has gone from from Chinese tea to Indian tea. Now, Irish breakfast has a blend. Let's see, this one has teas from India and Sri Lanka. Excuse me, this one has Ceylon and Assam. Ooh, excuse me, that choking really like set off my breathing. So this one is going to be a much, I can't say a much stronger blend, but it's going to be a stronger blend. My water is done, so I'm going to rip this off real quick and let you guys know how it smells. Rachel, welcome! Just in time for Irish breakfast. Okay. Okay, that's nice. It's a little bit stronger. It's not as fragrant. It's more earthy. The first one was slightly fruity, almost flowery. This one is earthy, but more like plant-like, if that makes sense. Oh, it's still smooth. It's still smooth and kind of darker, but it's still really good. I'm gonna enjoy this. Okay. Perfect. Oh no! Dang it. Okay, this is interesting. I forgot that I had sweetened this up a while ago, and I never put tea in it. I meant to make a cup of tea a couple days ago. I put the sugar in it, and I completely forgot to make the tea. So, okay, this one is going to be slightly only me. This one is going to be slightly sweetened, but I'll be as true to form as I possibly can. But that also means that I'm going to have to get my spoon. I was not expecting that. Oh, okay. Anyway, my water's done. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. And I'm going to steep this one for the full 5 minutes. Time to do the dishes. Yeah, exactly. Like, generally, I wash it right after I make the tea. But since I never made the tea on this one, c'est la vie. I didn't wash it. Okay, so I'm going... And you know, the funny thing is, like, I could have totally just played it off and not said anything. But then, like, what kind of host would I be, right? So I am going to be honest. I didn't mean to sweeten this one. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Okay. So anyway, Irish breakfast. People generally equate the taste as stronger and a little bit red. Traditionally when it's steeped, it's gonna have that same black tea kind of flavor to it. I'm still slightly choking. Sorry. It's gonna have that traditional black tea flavor, but it's gonna have a little additional reddish kind of taste, if that makes sense. I imagine what red tastes like. A little bit berry, a little bit, a little bit fruity, something like that. Let me just reference this real quick. So this is going to be a Ceylon from Sri Lanka, and Assam from India. They talk about blah 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 blah. I'm just skipping through a couple of morning meals. Okay, so this is going to be malty with an underscore of the pungent Assam. It's going to be a spicy and jammy aroma on the leaf. And it's going to be, oh, this is interesting. They say it's got a brisk, buzzy mouthfeel. So that's going to be very interesting when that comes through. Okay, yeah, they said that they usually drink it with a little bit of milk, but not like it doesn't necessarily need it. Apparently that was that decision was made for me by mistake, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna just grin and bear it, because it's too late to do anything about it now. You know? Oh my god, I'm like sweating a little bit here. It's so hot. I gotta get that breeze coming. Okay, yeah, I'm just checking on the time because it's. Let me see. Is it still going? Yeah, it is still going. I don't know. It's so silent. Sometimes it makes me paranoid. Anyway, so as I was saying before, the water in in Ireland is slightly heavier, so they blend the tea to match the water of the region. The way that they do it is they instead of a Chinese tea, they use the Indian tea, the Assam and the Sri Lanka. Yeah, the Ceylon and the Assam. Oh, there we go. Now I didn't show you what it looked like before. It's very similar to the English breakfast. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like now that it's expanded. The leaf, oh, it's hard to tell because this one has been used quite a bit, but it's up to about, I'm trying to hold it. See where my thumb is? Just at the top. So it got a little big. I gotta stir it now. It expanded to about twice as much as its normal size. Okay, there we go. Oh, excuse me. And I have to switch cups because I want to get a full, a brand new taste. Now, what I should have done, now that I'm thinking about it, was gotten a palate cleanser, something to break up the monotony so I can taste this one better. But it'll have to do because I'm doing 3 black teas in a row. It would have been nice to like have a little something to, you know what? Maybe I do have something in my fridge. I do have some bread. You know what? Nah. I'm just gonna test myself to the limit. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour my second glass. Should I use a small one? No, I'll use a small one. Okay. So here comes the next. Oh, there we go. You guys see, it's another dark black. Oh, I spilled it a little. I was trying to avoid that. It's another dark black tea, and there is a significant difference between the last one and the first one. You guys are going to see right now, visually. There is, if you guys can notice, there is a huge difference. It's a lot darker than the first one. The English breakfast was more red, yellow. At the top, like I mentioned before, it looks like my hypothesis was right. There's not a whole lot of clear water. It goes directly from red to yellow to the cup rim. Like, there is no watery color at the surface. That's attributed to the strength of the leaf and the process that it went through. Now this is interesting. It almost does look like beef broth. It's a lot stronger than it should be. I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, you can tell the difference. Oh, that's what it was. The scent, the smell is a lot smokier. It's a good hearty tea. And it's very earthy, very, like, there's a huge difference between the first smell and the second. The first one was lighter, it was airier, it was flowery. This one's earthy. This one is it's stronger. It's more grounded, less flowery, more woody, and slight. It's more smoky. At least the scent of it. Oh, here it goes. Oh yeah. This is definitely a stronger blend, even with the sugar. It doesn't weaken it very much. Like, it's a much noticeable. Was it you won't sleep tonight with all these teas? Yeah, I'm assuming that because these are quite caffeinated each. Hopefully I'll be able to, like, knock out around 2 in the morning. We'll see. But it's a good thing I don't have to work tomorrow. So, you know, might as well, right? Live it up. There is something more. There's something more. It's kind of a flavor that I can't place. It's almost like a meaty kind of flavor to it. Like, I would compare it to cooked medium beef, the center of it. Not the outside where it's charcoaly, but the inside where it's slightly bloody. I think that's what they were talking about when they said that it tastes red. I was assuming like a red berry or a red plant, but it's almost beefy. It's almost meaty. So that's very interesting. Like, I've never equated a tea that would taste like meat. But there's a quality to it that I really like. So it is beef broth. You could say that, but it's like an actual beef. Izzy, welcome. A possible red wine? No, it's not close to red wine. It's not berry at all. You know, it's very grounded, very. It's carnal. I would say this is carnal. Yeah, it tastes like red. That's what they were talking about. I was not expecting this. Yeah. Like everything that I read, they were talking about red. I mean, yeah, everything that I read, READ, they were talking about red. Oh yeah, I gotta love the beef too. That's surprising. Like, I was not expecting, yeah, a roast beef. That's comparable. And that's something that I was not expecting either. Like, and you know, do keep in mind that this is still sweetened, but I think that might be affecting the meaty taste a little bit, but it's bringing it out more. And in this case, this might have been like a blessing in disguise, because otherwise I might not have been able to place it. But it's got a red taste. I'm really enjoying this. This would go really good with mashed potatoes. Like mashed potatoes, Scottish, Irish breakfast, and maybe, yeah. I was just about to say steak and eggs. Yeah, that's definitely um, a good pair. Like I would totally do that because like I was saying before, it's meant to go with a heavy meal. All three of these. Mm-hmm. Potatoes and eggs. Corned beef traditionally is Irish, and that would go well with it. I don't really eat corned beef all that often, but yeah, I can see having a cup of this with a nice big plate of food. Of course, to me, anything goes well with a big plate of food. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm starting to get hungry too, and I'm already like almost filled to the brim with tea. I will find a way to get a big plate of steak and eggs with mashed potatoes in my belly right about now. I might have to install a second stomach. Just saying. Whew. Ooh, this is. I feel satisfied. Like this is like eating a whole meal. You grow hair on your chest with the Scottish blend. I will not be surprised about that. There's actually I've learned a couple of interesting things about it, and I'll talk about that once I get to the Scottish blend. But yeah, that's definitely a factor. Or an intermission? What do you mean? An intermission like in between teas? Mm. Oh, this is so good. Oh, I'm trying to hurry up because I'm already approaching the hour, and I still have one more to go through. The Scottish one is I'm probably not going to take too long with that, just because for time, and I don't want you guys to get bored. Uh, but no, or an intermission to go to the bathroom. No, I'm not. I'm not there yet. Probably after I'm finished with my second pot, you'll see me do the pee pee dance. But play music, yeah, that would be. I'll play the ocean sounds because I have my noise not my noise maker, but my noise it's like the sound machine. But yeah, it'll be like the waves of the Atlantic or something like that. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead. I think I have enough room in here to finish this off. We'll see. If not, nope. Apparently not. So I'm trying my hardest so I can finish this off fast. And I really wish I could lay back and enjoy this slower, because this is like really excellent. I honestly thought that. Oh, excuse me. Now the white noise generator might be a little too boring. I honestly thought that since these are more traditional, I wouldn't enjoy these as much because, I mean, sometimes traditional equals boring. This is in no way boring. I am thoroughly enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would. I went to a restaurant recently, and they served tea, and it was just straight up English breakfast. And I tasted it, and I told my friend, and she was disappointed for me because she was like, "Gosh, like you come over here, you look for tea, and it's not even exotic." I'm like, "No, people. This is what people expect when they drink tea, so maybe Maybe they do it to serve the general public. Um, and you know, I mean, it's not my first choice, but it's a better tea than I gave it credit for. But this actually, this is actually becoming a more interesting experience than I thought originally. I mean, even the breakfast, the English breakfast, it's better when you drink English breakfast. I associate that with Lipton, and you know, you guys know how I feel about Lipton. It's meh, but this stuff is natural. It's the high end English breakfast. It's the way that it should be. And it's extra traditional because it's from China. Mm. I don't want to put it down just yet. Mm. Whew, this is like... Ooh, I'm sweating. This is like very satisfying. This is like eating a meal. Generally, when you drink a pot of tea and stuff like that, you don't get that fullness. Normally, depending on the tea, I mean, some teas are very heavy, and when you drink it, yeah, you're satisfied, but you're not full. This tea is filling. You know, it's a meal in itself, and I'm actually very surprised that like even my hunger is my hunger has been insatiable for all week. I don't know why, but I've been eating a lot. This is actually satisfying me quite a bit. Okay, maybe now I have enough room to finish this off. Maybe. No! I still have more to go. Dang it. They're really pushing the envelope on this one. Oh, but this tastes really good when it's hot. I don't know how it would be iced. I'm assuming that it's going to be just as good as the English breakfast. I might be pregnant. I would not put it past me. Maybe I've been like going out behind my back and, and seeing somebody else on the side. But I swear, one of these days I'll find that baby mama, and she's gonna pay me child support. Taking her to Maury. Oh, I'm gonna have to sit back and take a little bit of a breather. Whew, because this is a test of endurance, like for real. I am feeling good, but I can't lull myself too much, because if I do, I'll just be too lazy to get up, and that's not a good thing. Yeah, get mine for real. It's going to be a very interesting blend of having energy from the caffeine, but being relaxed and mellow, and that's what I'm experiencing right now. I'm feeling laid back. For the past, I don't know, I want to say maybe 3 days or so, I've been a little bit caffeinated. I don't know, something going around the office. 2 or 3 of us around my area have been highly caffeinated lately. And I have to admit, yeah, I probably had a little something to do with that because I share my tea. But in this case, people have been coming into work a little bit more caffeinated than usual. So something like that, I just added to it. I didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. And Lord knows I was adding fuel to it. Trying to hurry up. Ooh. There's kind of a little hint of cinnamon in there. A little bit. And it's got a little bit more of a mouthfeel than the English breakfast. The English breakfast was very liquidy, very watery. This one has some depth to it. I'm just noticing that now. Oh, I'm gonna put you down for a minute. Hopefully this will finish off the water. I mean the tea. Oh, dang it! Still, how much tea is in here? It's like the never-ending pot. Sudafed, everybody is taking some serious allergy meds. Yeah, that might be it. I would not put it past anybody. Whew. Whew. I'm so hot right now. You guys see me sweating. Thank God it's cooler out tonight than it has been for the past couple weeks. Because if it was 90 degrees, I would be dead right now. I would either be dead or naked. And I don't think anybody wants either one of those choices. So, thank God for the lower temperature. Okay, hopefully I made enough room. Because there was very little left. There we go. It's finished. Shanna, welcome back. Whew. Okay, there we go. And now that I've done that, I get to put a little more water in there. Oh, I'm so glad I brought in two bottles. And I'm trying not to spill it. Again, doing it with one hand. Oh! There we go. And I'm not going to fill the next one too much, because that's going to be overkill. And you guys don't want to see me drown tonight, because that would really be a tragedy. Ha! I swear my last words on this earth is going to be a pun. Like that. That's going to be when I die. I always said that when I die, I want my grave, my tombstone, to be a joke about how I died. Like, if I died inhaling inhaling CO2 from a car, I want my my gravestone to say he was exhausted. Get it? Exhausted? Oh, I am absolutely sure about that. I want my tombstone to be hilarious. So you heard it here, guys. I want my tombstone to be something funny. Whew. My God. Oh my God. Okay. I'm trying to process this. I'm almost done with the Irish breakfast. I'm going to start the Scottish. The water on the Scottish. That one actually should be a full 212. Because that's going to be the strongest of the three. So I'm adjusting it as well. Whew. All right. Oh, there's the end of it. Oh, okay. Moving that here. Now, Scottish breakfast. Scottish breakfast was the most interesting of all three. If you look, tea tasting, what? If you look, oh, you look tea tasting days full. I am tea tasting days full, and I'm not even done yet. But I want to talk a little bit about before the water pops. I want to talk about the history of Scottish breakfast because I find that most interesting. In Scotland, there was now this is what I'm going to tell you guys has been debated. Nobody knows for sure if this is true. Part of it is. I'll tell you which part is. The first part of this is true. Scotland, having the lightest water of the three, they brewed a harder tea. There was a tea master named Drysdale, and Drysdale wanted to create a Scottish breakfast tea that could be enjoyed, but because the water was so light, he decided to go with a heavier blend so that you could taste more of it. Now here's the part that's debatable. Drysdale had I want to say a bit of a rivalry at the time with England, and so he created this blend super strong to basically say, "Oh, you English are pansies. I'm gonna make this tea that's gonna knock your socks off, and nobody in England is going to be able to handle it." And you know, like, this was a competition for him. He made this tea as strong as he could, and you know, he took pride in the strength. This was, I don't know if this was an actual competition with anybody, but the rumor is that I believe it was still Queen Anne. Let me double check. It was still Queen Anne who, she basically loved it so much that she was fine with losing to the Scottish for the where I'm trying to find the reference to this. I think it was Queen Anne, or it was whoever came after her. Late 1700s, Drysdale, Queen Victoria. That's who it was. Yeah, Queen Victoria became so enamored with the blend that she started marketing it. Oh, excuse me. And she sold it as British breakfast tea throughout all of England. So you had English breakfast and you have British breakfast, which is in actuality Scottish breakfast. So I thought that tidbit was absolutely hilarious, and I had to throw it in there. Why am I so blurry? Ah, there we go. Okay. I had to throw that in there because I thought that was such an interesting tidbit of information. So, my water already broke. I'm going to go ahead and open this up real quick. There we go. Oh! Now, I have never had Scottish before at all. Well, yeah, it's still British, but, like, knowing this competition, I'm sure it irked him a little bit that it was British tea and not Scottish tea. So that might have been like a little bit of a clapback there. But I mean, that whole rivalry thing, I just found it absolutely interesting and hilarious. But let's see what this smells like. Ooh, okay. This is definitely, it's definitely more wholesome than the three. It's more grounded. There is less wood, there is less flour, there's more earth in it. There's more like it's a deeper blend. It's definitely the stronger. Now this one has a mixture, Assam, Kimun, and Yunnan Jig, and Ceylon. So this one has four different teas in it. One from India, and the rest are from. Oh no, sorry, two from India, two from China. So this one is going to be a very strong blend. They are not playing around here. Oh, I think I might have put too much. Let me put some back. There we go. Yeah, because I'm not going to put that much water in there. Whew. But yeah, I love that little tidbit there. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna fill that up about right there. And I'm using the Ingenuity. So I'm gonna show you guys as it goes. You get to see how it looks as it brews. So right now, you see it's a golden copper. I just put the water in there. I'm expecting it to get gradually darker as time goes. It might not look as dark because the flash is on and it's penetrating all the way through. So right now, it's bronze and a little bit red. I'll come back to it in just a minute. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Oh, excuse me. As it goes, I'm hoping I put a good amount of water in there. I'm using my T-Rex cup. Oh, excuse me. And already, yeah, I see already that it's not even going to fill up. So I'm going to add a little bit more water to it, but not too much. I want to get it so that it's at least photogenic. I usually brew it strong, so there is more in there than it should be. It would be good to adjust. But yeah, anyway. So I just, I love that whole rivalry story so much, you guys. I wish I was a fly on the wall, because Drysdale sounds like my kind of dude, you know what I'm saying? Oh, but yeah, so I've never tasted Scottish breakfast. I've never smelled Scottish breakfast before tonight. And I have to say, already by the scent of it, I'm impressed. You know, you've got a good amount of wholesome flavor in there, and I'm expecting a nice, strong, hearty tea, something that's gonna like knock me out for the night. It's looking all right. You know what? Well, I still have a couple more minutes, right? Yeah, 2 more minutes. So I'll show you guys before I pour it out what it looks like again. It looks like it's getting significantly dark. You'll see the difference from beginning to end. I wish there was a way for me to like do a screen, a double screen kind of thing, so that you guys could watch it go while I talk. But maybe that's something that can be done in the future. I don't know. Technology is great. That might be something that might be worth looking into. Maybe doing a simulcast. I know there might be a way. You couldn't finish it. You couldn't finish the Scottish breakfast. Was it that strong? I'll take that as a challenge. What was I saying? Yeah, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, so yeah, I've never had much experience with this tea before, so you and I are going to be experiencing this together. Oh yeah, the technology. I know that you can. Oh, there we go. So it looks like it's done. I'll show you guys real quick. There we go. Yeah, so you see now it looks significantly darker than it was before. It's still red. It's still good. But I'm going to pour this out real quick because I don't want it to oversteep. It's already going to be super strong. And hopefully... Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I should have just enough. Oh, wow, it's a super, super smoky. I'm smelling this. Whew. Yeah, this is going to be a strong one. That's good? Ah, that's good right there. I mean, it's not all the way to the top, which is fine by me, because I'm already, like, almost down for the count. But anyway, like I was saying, I know that you can bring in different people to the stream. Like, it gives me the option of, like, adding people to the stream. So maybe there's a way that I can add a different account to this and you can watch it steep. I don't know. That's something that I'll be looking into, maybe. We'll see. But yeah. So, going on with that, I'm going to go ahead and take my first sip. Ooh, that is smoky. It's still not as smoky as Lapsang, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be as strong. Greg, welcome. What's up? Better late than never. Oh yeah, that is a huge difference between the English and the Scottish. Like this is super smoky. You still get the black tea from it. It's not as transformed as the Lapsang, but it's hot, it's heavy, it's earthy, it's straight from the ground. I don't want to say it's muddy, because the way that I'm describing it kind of makes it sound like it's pure dirt, but it's not. It's earthy. It's definitely heavy. And it hits you. It's a strong flavor that hits you right back here. And it envelops your whole mouth. Like, there has been a definite progression between English breakfast, Irish breakfast, and Scottish breakfast. And each one has its own unique benefits. Like, this is the kind of tea that if I wake up and I'm still half asleep, I would drink this and it would be like, whoa, okay, I'm up. English breakfast would be if I'm already awake and I'm like, okay, I'm doing my work, la 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 la. This is a kick in the pants, you know? And it's a really beautiful kick in the pants, I gotta say. Because it's something that you would appreciate on the day that you really need it. You can still have that black tea flavor from it. You need a big bag. Yeah, like I got the sample, and I would have bought a full bag of this had I not had the sample to fall back on. But being that as it is, why am I going to buy a 3-ounce bag when I already have something here? And I'm kind of regretting not needing a Scottish breakfast 3-ounce. But I mean, it's there, and I know now that this is something that I like. So, oh, excuse me. This is something that I will definitely invest in the future, probably when it starts to get colder. This is something that will definitely wake me up and get me going. Oh, excuse me. I hate it when that happens, like the hiccups. They're getting to me. Ooh. Kara, welcome! And good night, Miriam. Have a good night. And give the smidgen a kiss. She's adorable. That's a little puppy. Well, she's a 7-year-old puppy, but she's a little thing. Oh, okay. I am getting really super hot now. This is having a stronger effect on me, compiled on the already strong effect of the first two. Yeah, all that slurping. That's how you properly taste the tea. You know this. You gotta give it a good chance. Whew. Oh, and the water has not cooled at all. Like, it's still super hot. And my tongue is slightly burnt. A little bit painful, but you know, it's the price I pay. That's fine. I mean, I'm used to it, so it's all good. But it's not to the point where I can't taste it anymore. This tea has a certain depth to it that I can appreciate. Oh, you know what? I didn't even show you guys what it looks like in the mug. Look at that. There is barely any yellow halo at all. And you don't see any clear water whatsoever. All of it is welcome back, Ma. There's no clear water at the top. There is a very, very little yellow ring around it, and everything else is like red, brown, and black. Like, this is a very deep, dark tea. And you know, that's what I was talking about before, that there was going to be a progression. That's why I pointed it out in the English breakfast, where you saw there was a light, watery surface. Then right underneath there was a rather large yellow ring, and then it got into the browns and the reds. This one is all black. Yeah, exactly. This is like a really strong blend, and it tastes as strong as it looks. And I can see why Queen Victoria is so enamored with it, because in its strength, there's something kind of poetic about it. It's strong but still graceful. It's dignified, and that's about as well as I can put it. I'm not trying to be poetic, but that's kind of what I'm getting from it. Like, you get that Scottish rebellion spirit coming out of it, where it's strong but it's not overpowering. It's not super duper. Well, it's not overpowering to me. Shanna, you had trouble with it before. Maybe it was oversteeped that day. I don't know. But this, what I'm getting, it's a nice strong cup. Ooh, this is. I'm almost down for the count. Like, this is gonna knock me out for real. Oh, I'm feeling it. And I'm not doing the pee-pee dance like I thought I would. I'm still feeling pretty good. I'm sure that as soon as I turn off this camera, it's gonna hit me. But no pee-pee dance yet. Oh my God, this has been a really great experience. I know you guys are probably wondering which one is my favorite, and this is gonna be a tough one. It really, really is, because each of them has a distinct quality to it, and each of them requires a certain mood to be in it. So I would say, now this is purely my mood speaking. I would have to say that Scottish breakfast is my favorite of the three, only because it was the most surprising of the three. History wise, taste wise, spirit wise, it hit all three. You know, and purely based on what current mood that I'm in, this is the one that I'm most delighted by. I'm really feeling mellow, excited, and what's a good way to put it? I'm happy, overall happy with the experience. So yeah, I think that this is a good. This would be my favorite of the three for today. But depending on the morning, you know, if I'm feeling light and cheery and happy, I'll go for the English breakfast. If I'm concentrated, if I'm, what's the word I'm looking for? If I'm occupied and want to keep my focus, I would go for the Irish breakfast. But if I'm half asleep and need a swift kick in the pants, then, you know, Scottish breakfast is my man. Okay, so I'm almost halfway through with the last cup. So I'm going to talk a little bit about announcements coming up. I have a couple things coming. Next week is the one that you guys have been waiting for. Even before you knew you were waiting for it. I talk all the time about how I feel about Earl Grey and how it's not my favorite. And you're going to see me experience it again. So next week you're going to want to tune in, because this is one you already know I'm not a huge fan of. I tolerate it at best. But you guys always say, "Oh, is there a tea that you don't like? Is there a tea that you say you speak so highly of all these teas? Is there one that..." This is one that I tolerate. I don't hate it anymore, quote unquote anymore. I've acquired a taste for it. Still not my go-to, but you guys are gonna see me give it an honest review next week. Nicole, welcome back. So that's going to end September. And, it's going to end August. And going into September, you guys voted for it. And the delivery came in. So I have my teas for all of next month. I am going to do the fandom. I chose Marvel Comics. And this was based... They have different versions of Marvel Comics, but based on a recommendation from Shanna. One of the guys, his name is Woody something or something Woody. I don't remember. He does a series of cookie teas, and he comes highly recommended. So he knows what he's talking about. Shanna's never had these teas. I've never had any Woody teas at all. So I'm gonna do Marvel Comics. I already have a few. It came in, so I'm good to go. I'm gonna drink a little bit more, and now I'm starting to feel the little pee-pee dance coming. So this is coming just in time at the tail end of the stream. I'm not gonna be tortured for half an hour, going, "Ooh, I gotta go." No. I'm good. I'm not feeling too bad yet. Third announcement. I started the raffle. You guys, it's going on until Sunday, so you have the entire weekend to enter. Right now there's about 12 or 13 entries, so odds are pretty good. It's 1 in 13. Throw your hat in the ring. See if you can win. This is something that It's going to be, as a matter of fact, good thing I have one right here. This kind of teapot. I chose black. This was my first teapot, actually. And it's a little bit worn, you see. But it's been through a lot. I've had it for about, what, 2-3 years now? Yeah, 3. Oh my God, 3 years. I've had it for 3 years, and it has served me well. Like, it's still going strong. I still love this teapot. I use my cast iron one for the streams because it looks good, it's fancy and stuff like that. But on my personal list, I go for the porcelain because it's more suited to everyday use, as opposed to using the heavy teapot. It's fine. So if you haven't already, go ahead and enter in. You guys, this is a great investment. I love it to death. And if you win, I'll be making personal recommendations of what you should be putting into it, because this is something that once you have it, some of you guys don't know what kind of teas to explore. This is your key, because once you have it, you have the ability to make full on loose leaf, and you can go ahead and explore all the teas that you like. From the people who have seen this teapot, I linked them to it. They love it. They think it's adorable. It's handy. It's put in a lot of use. As you can see by the basket, how it was super duper brown. That's from all the use. Yeah, I stand by this product completely. So now I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want to ask, anything you want to say, go ahead. Now's your time, because I'm almost done with this. I think I have about a quarter of the cup left. But oh my God, like I am super stuffed. I'm satisfied. This has been a really great one. I am going on an hour and a half. I'm over an hour and a half. And I kind of expected this. Every time I do multiple pots of tea, it takes a while. But now we're drawing to the end of it, and it has been a test of endurance. And I swear I'm going to spend the rest of the night in the bathroom, which is fine because I have so much caffeine in me right now that I'm going to be up anyway. Might as well pee, right? Oh, it's something to do. Whew. And as this cools, the earthiness is coming out a lot more. I would not recommend drinking this room temperature. I may not even recommend drinking it iced. This is a strong flavor that deserves a strong, hot temperature. English breakfast you can drink cold, maybe even room temperature, probably. But this one, I would recommend caution when icing it. Yeah, because the earthiness is going to come out even more when it's cold. So if you're going to do it iced, be prepared to sweeten it. Oh, I'm so stuffed. The look on my face isn't from the taste. It's from the feeling in my stomach. I'm just like, this is like, I'm starting to feel satisfied. This is like Thanksgiving dinner stuffed. That kind of thing. Woo. Oh, it's knocking me out. I've been at this for quite some time, and this is something that I would definitely recommend. Whew, 3 full pots. Well, not even full pots, because that last one was only about half full. Yeah, it was about half full, and I'm feeling it. All right, last call. Any questions, comments? I have one more chug left. So now's your time, or forever hold your peace. Whew. Oh my god. This was a really fun one. Thank you guys for joining me. I have had a blast. Tune in next week to watch me drink Earl Grey and get my true and honest reaction to a tea that I'm not a particular fan of. But we'll see how I receive it, considering that I haven't had it for a while. We'll see how it goes. In the meantime, have an amazing weekend. Thanks again for joining me, and I will be announcing the winner of the raffle this coming Monday. Oh, excuse me. It'll be on Facebook, so stay tuned. And whoever wins, good luck to Oh, excuse me. Good luck to everybody, and have a great night. And I'll see you next week.